What I heard from this more than anything else was Dr. Fauci ringing an alarm bell. I mean, loud and clear, saying that if we don't ramp up testing, if we don't get a national program on contact tracing, and if we don't follow appropriate social distancing guidelines, then the next wave of this thing is going to cause many, many unnecessary deaths. He's making it clear. As he said, it's going to be a really bad fall if we don't get the preparations in place now.
Let me ask you a little bit about that specifically, because what Dr. Fauci is describing about that potentially catastrophic second wave in the fall, while we are still in the middle of the first wave, is that we really do need, as a country, to get really good and really big and really expert at contact tracing and testing in order to try to head off the second wave. And that is something that takes skill and good governance and good administration. It's just a technocratic thing that we really haven't developed nationally at all. Do you feel like that is going to just have to happen state by state or even city by city? Have you given up on the prospect that we might be able to do that nationally at the kind of scale that Dr. Fauci was talking about today?
You're saying we need competence and leadership. And that's what's missing at the federal level. And the problem is there are many things the states can do by themselves. And God bless them, they're out there trying to do it every day, to open more emergency hospitals and to do all kinds of work to try to keep their citizens safe. But contact tracing, we move. We move from place to place and state to state. This is something that needs national leadership. Same thing is true on testing. We need for the test kits to be produced nationally. We need for all of the support materials that you need, whether it's swabs or tubes, test tubes, or whatever it is, to be produced nationally, to be distributed nationally. The notion of saying to the 50 states and to Washington and to Puerto Rico, hey, you all are on your own, good luck to you, and try outbidding each other for what is necessary, that is not only wasteful, it costs people lives. It wastes dollars and it puts us further and further behind in responding to this crisis. That's why I said what I heard from Dr. Fauci is saying, in effect, we all know over the past, it's roughly about 16 weeks, that we've been at this since the first case appeared here in America. And in that period of time, there's been no real planning, no real organization, just as you say, just good technocratic government that functions, government that works. We've now got roughly about 16 weeks to when the next big crash could hit us, when the next big wave could be upon us. We need to use that time to plan, to get organized, and to be ready for it, and to have the measures in place so that we can really do national contact tracing. I've got this right now in the plan that Speaker Pelosi put out today. I've been pushing for this for a long time. We've got some money in it. But you know, Rachel, what we're suffering from is without federal leadership, it is really hard to get this stuff done. And human beings across this country and our economy are paying a terrible price for the lack of leadership.